touch me. Excuse you. They're hitting defensive slugfest, and the Dogs ran away with it. A 10-3 win here at Vegas. How long do I have? Please don't touch my equipment. Please don't.
This situation only demonstrates why I personally prefer for sports broadcasts, especially football broadcasts, to be handled mostly by men. Lindsay, though worse than the average, even as far as female sports reporters go, is definitely not the only female to enter into this mostly male space and seek to feminize it. She wants the football stadium to be quiet and gentle, considerate, respectful of personal space. She wants it to be a more feminine environment. She's not trying to assimilate herself into the culture of football fans. She is rather hoping that they assimilate themselves to her. This is a problem across our culture. Sports just happen to be an area where the problem is especially pronounced and obvious. Females enter into areas that have typically catered and mostly belong to men. And then, often quite successfully, they try to change them, to emasculate them, and thereby destroy the primary reason for their existence in the first place.
So let me just explain something to you all. Sporting events are supposed to be safe spaces for people like me who are very masculine, love to be very expressive with my hands, can't put them down. Sometimes I do this to look like I'm smart, but I'm really not. And the fact of the matter is that I think that men are savages and they can't control themselves. And my idea of feminizing an environment is preventing people from putting hands on individuals they haven't received consent from. Like, think about what he's saying there, right? He's saying men are grabby savages who can't control themselves, and they should be that way. That's who they are, and that needs to be protected. They need a safe space where they can be as grabby as they want. And if a woman happens to be in that environment, well, she deserved it. She deserved to be touched in an unwanted way.
I would thank you all for allowing me to speak to you tonight, but you tried not to allow it, yet here I am. Now, you only give us 60 seconds, so let me get to the point. You are all child abusers. You prey upon impressionable children and indoctrinate them into your insane ideological cult, a cult which holds many fanatical views, but none so deranged as the idea that boys are girls and girls are boys. By imposing this vile nonsense on students to the point even of forcing young girls to share locker rooms with boys, you deprive these kids of safety and privacy and something more fundamental too, which is truth. If education is not grounded in truth, then it is worthless. Worse, it is poison. You are poison. You are predators. I can see why you try to stop us from speaking. You know that your ideas are indefensible. You silence the opposing side because you have no argument. You can only hide under your beds like pathetic little gutless cowards hoping we shut up and go away, but we won't. I promise you that.
So he's in a tizzy because the school district believes in treating students with respect and respecting their gender identity. He had also written on Twitter that Loudoun County changed the rules so that only residents can speak at the school board. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. You don't live in that community. So, I mean, it's so obvious he's doing this for attention. In unrelated news, I'm proud to announce that I'm now a resident of the county, just rented a home in the area. I'll have the lease agreement, see you at the meeting. So he shows up only to like fearmonger about a non-existent problem to get attention. So congratulations, you got some attention. But like,
yeah, no, it's pathetic. Like my first instinct is he's just a male Karen with enough money to rent a house somewhere he doesn't live, but it's obviously more grifty than that. He's doing this to get attention. What a wasted opportunity. I mean, the dude had like a week, 2 weeks to prepare for that, and that was what he put together. You all hide under your bed like little scared babies. You're not tough. You're not tough at all.
If you are not in a position where you feel like you're able to, you should conceive a child. If conceiving a child would be disastrous for you, you believe, then do not participate in activities that literally billions of times in the past have resulted in the conception of a child. If reproduction, maybe I'll phrase it this way, because I really want to make it very simple for these people. They have difficulty understanding complex concepts. So we're going to dumb it down as much as possible. If reproduction would be a disaster for you, you believe, then do not participate in the Reproductive Act.
Hey, these ideologues who love freedom now want you to not have sex unless you want a child. Matt Walsh says we need to be abstinent, all right? So can you picture just like being intimate with the partner and just saying, you know what, Matt Walsh said that we shouldn't, so can't do this. Yeah, alternatively, we could say, as a queer woman, whenever I have sex with another woman, that's never a concern. So maybe Matt Walsh's solution is everyone do gay sex. I think we should, tweet that out, that's what Matt Walsh wants us to do. And he just like won't stop calling it the Reproductive Act. He will not call it sex. He will not be a normal human being. He keeps saying the Reproductive Act. Let's roll a clip of him saying that again.
If you're able to reproduce and yet reproduction would be a catastrophe, then do not participate in the Reproductive Act.
The Reproductive Act. Imagine your friends like telling a story and they're like, and then, we did the Reproductive Act. I'd be like, ew, stop it, you weirdo. This is so weird.